back again for another video of the mural process. I'm so sorry, but I did not get a video of me painting this bumblebee. I didn't even realize that I hadn't been recording until after it was done. I was just so excited to do it. Like, the idea of it just, I thought it was cute. I don't know if anybody else thinks it's as cute as I do. But just the idea of a bumblebee sleeping on a mushroom. Come on. And then I thought, like, first when I did it, the bumblebee's head was like up in the air, and I'm like, oh, I kind of did that weird. Like, I should have had it laying down more. So then I was trying to think of something that I could use. You know, what can I paint to act as a pillow? I'm like, it has to be something that he could actually use, you know, because this mural is like so realistic. But he couldn't use anything weird as a pillow. So I thought, well, a flower head would be nice and fluffy and comfy. So that is what I ended up using. Now, these smaller flowers, they're one of the things that caused me a little bit of grief in painting the mural. I would say, looking back on the whole mural process, the things that I had trouble with would be the mushrooms you've heard me talk of over and over again. A little bit the two flowers in the upper right corner, but not that bad. They didn't bother me as much as like nothing bothered me as much as those two mushrooms. But the flowers, and then I don't think I've started it yet at this point, but there's a little pond that I painted. That one caused me a lot of grief, and I'm still not totally loving how it is. Oh, I'm sorry. My son's room is right above me, and I don't know if his voice is going to come through in this voiceover. I hope not, but we'll see. So anyways, yeah, those few things were what caused me the most grief and has the most layers of paint. These flowers, when they're done, look nothing like they do right now. So the mural so far had been all these big things and all these taller things, and like the mushrooms are smaller than the flowers, yes, but they're still quite big, so everything was up. I thought it would be cute if there was like a little tiny land, like, you know, a little community, like miniature community down on, you know, in the grass. So I didn't go too far into it because I didn't want this mural to be too busy. So I just decided to do a couple little houses. And then I have this little clothesline, which I like better than the house. Just that, I don't know, it's cute. And I think that's pretty much all that I added that was like, you know, little life-like things. So, like I said, I didn't go too far into it. First, when I had the idea of doing a little community, I sketched it on a piece of paper. There was like a snail, and there was a little girl riding the snail and reading a book, and it was like so detailed, and I was like, okay, no. That's way too much for the mural. But it would make a really cute, I don't know, sketch or a stamp or something. I have to see if I can find it. I can't remember if I drew it in a book or a loose piece of paper and where it would even be right now. I may come across it someday, and if I do, I'll try to remember to post it so you can see it. So here you can see I'm trying to do more to like these flowers. Like my first thought was to have them like dandelions. Those are the ones that are the big white fluff things, right? That you blow and you make a wish. Pretty sure those are called dandelions. So that was my first thought, but I mean the wall is white, so it wouldn't have stood out. So I thought, well, same idea maybe, like kind of, but just like poofy yellow flowers. And looking at them right here now on the video, they're looking okay. But again, that's on the video and it's from a distance, but close up, I just wasn't liking them. Oh, and here I am getting to the lake I was talking about. I ended up, like, I did not record all the layers and all the trials of this. I said lake, but it's more like a little pond. Because I tried so many different styles for painting this little pond. And I ended up, to make it so much easier, because with the legs in the middle of the pond, excuse me, it was like having to paint one side and then having to paint the other. It was losing that flow. So I ended up putting painter's tape over the leg so I could just, like when I was painting the pond, I could just continue on and not have to work around the leg. So that made it better. But I still couldn't find, I don't know, the right style to paint it and the right colors, and I don't know. I had a hard time with the lake or pond. I keep wanting to call it a lake. Probably because where we had the lake behind the house. I don't know. But yeah, like I said, like I don't hate it. Like now, looking at it done, like complete. I still think it could be better. I just don't know what I want to do to make it better. So I don't know if I'll end up changing it or if it'll just stay the way it is. We'll see. Only time can tell. So when I was editing this video, I feel like I'm tooting my own horn again, but I so enjoyed watching the process of this cat being painted. And I hope you enjoy it as much as I do or did, or I don't know. It was just so cool. Like when you're actually painting it, I don't know. It's like, yeah, you can see it come together and you can get excited. But if you're just painting and you don't step away from it and come back, you kind of, I don't know. It's like, it's almost like you're in a trance or something. Like you keep going, not really acknowledging and realizing the process, kind of. I don't know. It's hard to explain. But then there's a difference even in like leaving the room and coming back and looking at it. You're like, oh, like that looks better than I thought it did. So it was kind of like that editing the video. It was like, it was so cool to see it getting painted and coming together. And I'm watching and I'm like, oh yeah, I like how I did that. I'm glad I did that. I'm glad I fixed that. So it was cool. And like I said, I hope you guys enjoy watching the cat come together and other parts of the mural come together. And if you guys have the opportunity to paint a mural, even if it's on like a little tiny wall or a section of your wall, I highly recommend trying it. And if it turns out awful, it's paint. You can paint it over. And if it's raised, just sand down your wall and then paint it over. But I think if you're artistic and you like to paint, it's one of those things that I feel like you should do at some point in your life, because I don't know, it's very cool. And I like it. I like painting on the wall more than I do a canvas. I think it's where the wall is hard and where the canvas, like, you have give to it. So, or maybe it's because it's so big, because I do better larger than I do smaller. I really struggle with painting smaller things versus the big things. Unless the big thing is a piece of furniture, then I'm awful. I'm not good at that kind of painting. So here I go, or there I was, trying to make those flowers look decent. They're so different now, and you'll see it eventually. I'm not sure if it's in this video or the next one, but you'll see how much they change. And I do record it. The first idea I had for a cat, how was I going to do it now? Oh, I was going to do it so it was like the cat was a part of the landscape. Like, I'm trying to describe it. I was imagining it. Kind of like the back and the bum of the cat was like a big hill or a mountain. And then, I don't know, the arms were going to be like a piece of land going into the pond, or like maybe a little deck or a wharf like going into the water. But I'm glad I decided to do it this way instead. It's more fitting with the way the rest of the mural is. It is. I'm sitting here at my desk, and you'll see it in future videos because I have recorded the room being put together, like the desk being painted and put in place. So right now that is done, and I'm sitting at my desk, and I have two workstations at my desk. The computer station, which is where I am now editing and doing the voiceover. And then at the other end is my art space, like where I imagine doing collage, because it is nicer to sit when doing collage. There's some artwork I like doing standing, but collage is one of those things where I like to sit and get comfy and just watch something and, have fun. But anyway, sitting at the desk, I get to look up and see all the color from the mural. And it is, I wish you could sit here and just look up and look over to the side and see all the colors of the flowers. Like, it is so, it's fun. I'm glad I took the plunge and painted the mural. It really adds to the room. I think my room would have looked so drab without it. Like, I probably just would have, I don't know, I probably would have covered the wall in like storage, and it would have been so boring. Whereas this is so much more bright and pretty and colorful and artsy. It's like, that's one thing I'm trying to do with this art room, is make it like not too crazy, but make it fun and colorful and enjoyable and more me. Because this is my room. This is my happy place. Although in this house, I feel like the whole place is a happy place, but I don't know, like, I just want it to, I don't want it to be clownish with too much on the go, but I want there to be color. I want there to be places for your eyes to go and be like, ooh. So I do want some artwork to come into this place, but I need it to be functional first. And that's where I struggle, trying to find that balance, like have things work in a functional, good way, like have the storage, have everything have its place, but then also for it to look pretty, and then for there still to be room for like the nice decorative pieces. Because I had all these plans for the walls, things I wanted to do, but then I started looking at, oh, this needs to be hung up, and this needs to be hung up, and there's less room for the pretty. But what's the point in having an art room if it's not serving its purpose? And its main purpose is for there to be a place to store your art supplies and for it to be a nice functional space for you to be able to be creative. So that has to come first. But at least I have this one wall that is full of art. I just can't wait to share everything with you. So excited. And look at this kitty cat come to life. If all my talking during the mural process is annoying, like my feelings are not going to be hurt if you decide you just want to relax and watch the painting come to life. Feel free to mute me, shut me up, and just watch the video. I don't know if you would consider if anything I'm saying is important. I mean, I may give tips here and there, but if you have no plans on painting a mural, then maybe nothing I talk about in the mural videos will matter for you. So you can just mute the video and watch it. I mean, you can do that anyways. I love watching the fur being painted, especially on the tail. It's so fun. And right now, where the computer monitor is, the cat is like right to the right of it. So it's like so cute. I can just turn my head slightly to the right. Or I don't even have to turn my head. I just need to move my eyes that way. And I can see a little kitty cat sleeping. So I like it. Okay, so now we are moving on to the boat. I don't know why. Well, maybe I do know why. I strongly wanted to add a boat to this little pond, but not a regular boat. I wanted a paper boat. You know how you fold paper to look like a boat? That is what I wanted in the pond. Paper boats are the only thing that I know how to make. Most kids made paper airplanes. I did not know how to make those. I knew how to make paper boats, and I still know how to make them. And my mom taught me how to make them. So they're special in that way, in, you know, a special memory anyways. And I also just love paper boats. Like I have a collage piece from Mischief Circus, and it's a paper boat, and it's one of my favorite things to use. I just have this thing with paper boats that I love. I also once made, and I don't think I ever shared it, I did a piece of artsy paper. Like I don't know if I used paints or inks, I can't recall. And like I decorated this whole piece of paper, and then I folded it into a paper boat, and I put, I think, certain quotes and stuff in certain locations and stuff. I don't know, I'll have to find it and share it with you. But I don't know, I just have this thing for paper boats. So one had to go in the little pond. And it's cute there as it is now, but just wait, it gets better. I just love how it turns out. I'm pretty sure I do it in this video. If it's not this one, it's the next one. So I thought this little house on the hill could use a little mailbox because, you know, they get mail. And I think the little pink part next to the house, I think that's a garage. I really don't know. Maybe it's a doghouse. I have no idea, but I don't know. I just painted it. You can choose what you want to imagine it is. And I did these little mushrooms here, like instead of there being a tree, there's just little mushrooms. And I like how these turn out. They're pretty cute. And I didn't do anything super detailed with them like I did the bigger ones. Because I think the bigger ones, if you left it simple, it would have been plain and boring because they're such, you know, they're so much bigger in scale. But with it being small, you can get away with there being less detail. In my mind, anyways. That's how I feel about it. So for the green, the greens are one of those colors that I pre-mixed and had a lot of before I started the mural. Because I knew there was going to be like flowers and fields and grass and stuff like that. So I pre-made, before I even started my mural, 3 different shades of green. I made sure I had a really dark, a medium, and a light. And I just used my Liquitex Basics to mix the paint colors. Like I didn't buy any house paint or anything for that. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm trying to make it look, you know, more hilly and, you know, creating with the shadows and the highlights and the medium tones, so it looks like there's a bank going down to the pond and stuff. May not look like much right now, but it requires patience and layers, and in the end it looks good. I like it. And I don't think I show it in any of the videos. I could be wrong, but I don't think I do. I ended up adding little tiny like blades of grass around the pond. like not completely around the whole thing, but in little spots. It was a suggestion from my friend Courtney, Scrappy Girl on Instagram. I showed her what was happening with the pond and how I wasn't liking it, and it was just bugging me. And she suggested I put little bits of grass. And I'm not sure if this is exactly what she meant by it when she said it, but it's what I did. And I like it. So thank you, Courtney, for that idea, because I think it did make it look better. I did think about adding lots more, but again, it's one of those things where you're afraid if you go too far, you're going to wreck it. And I didn't want to chance it. And I'm liking it the way it is, like how it's not. I think if it went all the way around, I think it would look kind of odd. I don't know. But anyways, I did it how I did it, and I like it. So that is it for this video. I think there's just one more for the mural process, and then we'll be moving on to showing you different parts of putting the art room together. So thanks so much for watching, and I do hope you enjoy the video. Bye. Thanks so much for stopping by. Let me know if you like my videos by leaving me a thumbs up and subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can also head over to my Instagram account and say hi to me over there. If you have any video requests, leave a comment down below and I'll see what I can do. And don't forget to check out my other videos.